part of it too. You know,
Right.
are we
So
live?
that's,
We're not live right now, are we?
yeah, well, I am. I've just
Oh, you are.
yeah, just
Okay. Thank you,
got
T
that
News.
going here,
I'm
buddy.
not on Facebook yet. We'll
All
talk
right.
about this stuff afterward then.
Yeah, we will. So
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of internal planning to be done.
That is for sure.
Right.
All right, but I know later we get on Facebook Live here while we're doing this. Holy moly, what happened? Did I do that?
No, I did that.
Okay.
Just
All
kind
right,
of,
we're gonna go on Facebook Live.
you know, they give you
Talk
several
about the Red Sox
canned
first.
options here.
Hmm?
They give you several canned options here to.
My face is bigger than my real head on this one.
Okay, well, you just have to
My
move
head's
back
pretty
a
big
little.
too.
Okay, so there you go.
Okay, we are live on Facebook. Thank goodness. It's been an interesting day with the internet going on and off for 2 days in a row here in Talon County, Connecticut. But we are live on Facebook here. It is the 14th of April, the day before tax day.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do my taxes. Oh, man, I got to do them.
You haven't done it yet.
No. But I mean, I've done all the preparation work. I just got to put it together. I've done, 2/3 of it. I've done my taxes, but I haven't done my taxes.
Next year, you'll have to hire my wife.
Okay. I would have liked to hire her this year.
Finish the taxes.
We could start talking about taxes here because I was going to start with the Red Sox and how much they suck, but more importantly, the income tax on his face. My whole life, I knew even as a youngster when I first started paying it. When you're a kid, just become an adult, and you're in high school. They may even make high school kids file income tax return. What the hell is that? But they're exempt. You file exempt and you don't have to pay. So or when you're first working, you get money back. The income tax is I think, an act of psychological warfare.
It's called get used to it. You're going to learn how to be a slave of the system. So we might as well get you started early. Or
we can help Donald Trump fight it because he's mentioned that the income tax is something that should go away for people, especially people making under, $60,000 a year. I mean, it's a tax on your labor. It's a tax. The founding fathers fought a revolutionary war over a tax on ink and stamps and paper.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tax on your actual labor. And I know the founding fathers would have lost their minds if they heard that there was going to be an income tax in this country.
Mm.
All of them. That's both the Jeffersonians and the Federalists. Although you might want to argue that Alexander Hamilton might have liked it. He's kind of a...
Okay, are you ready for this headline?
I'm ready.
Iran is digging out buried missile launchers.
I knew you'd find the angle. What Iran's doing to us.
Don't thank me. You're going to love this. CNN. They're reporting on this. Let's see here. All right. So, yes, during the ceasefire, they've been working to remove the debris blocking the entrances to its underground missile bases during the ceasefire. So, at the very least, it sounds like they've picked those ones that are easier to get back online. So, yeah, peace talks, shmish talks. They're looking for the next opportunity to attack us, okay?
Yeah, okay. So it's war.
Yeah, it's war.
And what would if I was them? I'd be doing the same thing. Leave it to CNN to cover all the things positive about Iran that they can.
All right, we don't like CNN, but
don't like CNN.
This is the second time I have to tell you that I have seen them do what amounts to honest reporting on the situation. Now, let's be clear. In other words, CNN in its own weird communistic way has been trying to find what would be seen as a sort of middle ground, okay? Not spouting Trump, yay, rah, rah, but then again, not exactly calling America the great Satan either.
No, well, they're not going to do that. But listen, you can be honest about what you're reporting, what you leave. It's not what you leave. Not always about an outright lie. It's about what you leave out.
Okay.
So how much is CNN reporting anything that's favorable toward our cause? Probably nothing.
Let's take this particular case here. So you have CNN reporting on how the Iranians are digging out their missile launchers.
Okay.
All right. Is that propaganda?
No. I mean, I'm very well may be true. And it doesn't surprise me. Why wouldn't they be trying to do that? Why would their countries being bombed to shit by the United States of America? They're going to be doing everything they can. The question is,
Okay.
how successful are they in this endeavor? Have they managed to uncover one or two? Has it failed completely? Are they covering all of them?
30.
That's what I want to know.
Okay, well, maybe they get the launches, but they don't have the missiles. Who knows?
Or
But
how many launches are buried, and how many of those have they recovered, if any?
Yeah. So
they're digging for them. Is that what is the headline? They're digging for them, right? Is that what the headline is, or they've recovered them?
Well, let's face it. I mean, the strikes would have collapsed a good portion of these tunnels, however deep they happen to be.
You know what that tells me? If they're digging for missile launchers,
yes,
that must tell me that we've been pretty successful in destroying the ones that are accessible.
Right.
Because if they had a significant amount of accessible missile launchers, they wouldn't feel the need to be digging for them, would they?
Correct.
So this is really good news.
Well, that may be good news, but at the same time, I mean, to me, all right, you and me, we would agree, enough of this shit. We need to finish this regime off.
Yeah.
Finish. No more.
The whole world,
okay?
Especially the people of Iran and the whole world.
All right. But this is not what's happening.
Almost the whole
There's
world.
all this phony diplomatic dancing going on, and it's really annoying. Okay.
I think Trump's aware of it, though. I think it's part of the propaganda. It's part of the. I think the administration is well aware that it's a bunch of BS.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of what you got to do. Like you said, this is not about just winning militarily, but it's about winning hearts and minds and about the political game as well. And this is that's what these negotiations are.
I don't understand, why would they be comfortable with this dance when at the end of the day it's going to be, you have to go back to the military strikes, and here they are, reloading, so to speak, and we shouldn't be giving them the opportunity to reload. We should be knocking them out again before they can reload.
But what about, isn't it true, though, that it works both ways, like you mentioned? That during this pausing period, they're reloading. We're probably seeing where they're reloading, and we're catching our own intel during this period as well, because we're watching what they do. So,
okay.
How long has it been since the ceasefire started? It's been a week now, right? We're into the second week of the ceasefire, so supposedly. Was it Monday? Last Monday?
Everything was all right. The talks were Saturday. Everything was a blowout. So I think, by Sunday, the talks were off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So well, I thought they talked for 21 hours and then it broke down, right?
21 hours. Yeah, that was the number they were throwing around. Sure.
Then it broke down, and then now I'm hearing now that there's going to be a second round of talks as soon as tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah. Well, what is that going to look like? I mean, especially in light of stuff like this.
I would say that I would agree with you. I would say that they're at this point, nothing but an unconditional surrender is honestly all that really is left on the table, and the implementation of a new regime in Iran. Without it, you're basically going to just continue what we've been doing for the last 47 years. This will have meant nothing.
All right. Well,
and secondly, you're going to trade the people of Iran.
So, all right. I guess this is one way in which I would like to look at this. We're not quite there with the perception yet, but I think there's an argument to be made that our blockading the strait will be very successful.
Very good move.
And in the meantime, the Iranians are taking those missile launches and they want to get them down to the Strait of Hormuz as quickly as they can so they can start firing missiles at the ships.
Wow.
Right?
Well, I got to say,
would that be the most obvious thing to do with them?
I would think.
Okay. So here you go again. We're letting them do this under ceasefire conditions. I would hope that while they're hauling them down along these big dirt roads in the mountains of Iran, that we've bombed them. Can't let them get away with this. It's insane to think that they're going to set up and start. We allow them to set up and start firing missiles at the ships.
I don't think that will happen. I think we're going to find out. We'll probably just gathering all the intel we can, and then it's got to. I hope that Trump has the balls to start this up again. I hope that's not what we're dealing with here. You're right. It would be utter disaster if we let this Mullah stay in power.
He's quote said as much, but again, oh God. All right. So I
trust the president here. You know, I got to tell you though, this is in my lifetime, really in my lifetime.
Yes.
I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen a real war like this before.
A real war.
Yeah, a real. I mean, we've had a lot of wars. Now, the Ukraine-Russian war is a real war. That's crazy. But the United States is not involved directly in that war. I'm talking about from our country being involved in this kind of an intricate strategic fight. I've never seen it in my lifetime. Vietnam was. I was only 3 when Vietnam came. Then I was 3 or 4 years old. So, like, I know there was a lot. That war was a lot of weird stuff going on there. That was really. Well, I don't consider that really my lifetime. I was a baby. But I mean, the other wars that have happened that we've been involved in directly have been like the first Persian Gulf War happened in what, 6 days or something? It was over. The other one was. I mean, these other things have been like very quick. Not really. Almost don't even seem like wars at all. Just military operation, like you'd say. It's only the first time in my lifetime I've looked at what's happening here, and this is like really almost like when I used to watch MASH, because that's why I learned more about what goes on during a war by watching MASH, honestly, than anything else for my generation. And understanding that from that show the way things went down, because I watched every one of those episodes all at once. By the way, I binge watched it once.
Mm-hmm.
The way those episodes went all down. This is the first time I've ever seen anything like that, where there's this day-to-day, you know, the Gulf of Hormuz, take this island, you know, the strategy here, like this real laid out military chess game going on that I've never seen in my lifetime, honestly, never. Not involving our country.
Well, I think what may be peculiar here is the degree to which it gives all appearances of being figured out as we go along. In other words, we didn't go into this conflict with let me qualify that. We probably did have a plan at the time.
We must have had some long-term plans.
Yes, but those plans.
We had contingency plans for everything, but of course, there's a lot of algorithms here, and you can't be sure of everything that will happen.
Like the old saying, I'm going back to the old saying, no plan survives the first bullet. All right, so we've had to adjust as a result of what happened, and I guess to me, it's just my impression. There's a tentative quality to the way it was being done. Although it could be that with the blockade, you know, the first steps. I mean, part of it is you're in a dangerous situation. They had to figure out what to do about the mines, and I think they have that well in hand. Okay. But this is, it's quick planning, okay? Mm-hmm. So if it's quick planning, I don't know that it's thorough planning, and I don't know that it's well thought out planning. But so what? We had one tanker apparently get through because it stopped at a Dubai port and they were hauling methanol instead of oil. And so that one was let through to go to China, but then 2 others have been turned back. So
what, you mean coming out of Iran, our blockade?
Yeah. So we've turned, at least according to the news. Who knows what's really going on?
2 out of 3 we've turned back so far.
At least 2 tankers that are meant to be flagged Iranian or heading for China, but these were tankers that had no business going where they're going, and we had them turn around.
Good.
So, because the alternative is not something that they would want. What's this? That's funny. So Alan pointed out that the MASH show lasted longer than the Korean conflict.
Yes, it did.
That's good. Yes. Yes. Well, bankrolling. Oh, so I need to remind Alan, since he's watching. Alan, I don't know if you heard the Minister of Defense for Ukraine last year, but he did say publicly, if it was not for the CIA, Ukraine would have been defeated. Now, you have to let that one sink in. So you said we're not directly involved in not directly involved, we're bankrolling them. Well, there's another dimension, and this is kind of like this point I like to make about spook wars. Okay, having Iran involved is kind of like a spook war, and so we aren't seeing quite the same level of conflict inside Iran, but don't be surprised if the CIA is a lot more involved than we think. We've just seen bad news, no news, things that aren't very interesting, things that don't sound right, but hey, that's easily all misinformation. And it could well be the CIA is methodically setting things up. It's going to be what was it? Operation Ajax. I think that was the name for the CIA operation when they overthrew Mossadegh. So it's going to be Operation Ajax 2.0.
Could be. I hope so.
Later. Yeah. So who knows? Hey, it just,
Well, that's the point that I made a couple of weeks ago. That there's a lot more going on than we should. Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
There's a lot more that meets the eye going on. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, there's a lot more that the CIA could be doing that's good, that's right, that we know that we don't know.
Okay. And so we go back to a comment that President Trump made where he was suggesting there was he has a lot of options on the table. And the one that he picks may be the one that is the most surprising. Now, so let us conjecture here for the moment. Our ability, right? There was a comment made that suggested that we do not expect to be able to decapitate the Islamic Republic like we did Venezuela. Circumstances. We did a lot of damage to the leadership, but I think if we're being honest, like we've been saying, the leadership has managed to reorganize itself, reconstitute itself to some degree, even if they're in bad shape. There's something there.
Sure, there's something there still.
Okay.
A weakened version of what was there before.
So can we expect another decapitation strike? I think they're doing a good job of hiding themselves, so it may be asking a bit much. They may be doing the smart thing by making sure that, for the most part, the leaders are kept separate from each other. So if one dies, the other's alive. Mm-hmm. I think we can reasonably expect.
How many of these leaders are actually left, and at what point will their power diminish amongst a growing population of hatred against them? So,
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the pictures that we have seen.
I think the key to this is internal Iran collapse. It's not really, our military cannot do it all because there's too much theology and religion involved in their end. It's going to involve the people of Iran rising up in the end and taking control of their own country. That's how it's going to finally end.
All right. Well, the way to understand this,
help.
Yeah, we've got different factions, and what we learned rather quickly was that when the IRGC took over, there immediately emerged two factions: the one that wanted to cut a deal and the one that did not.
Mm-hmm.
And this produced that very embarrassing moment in Islamabad last week, where the faction that wanted to make a deal showed up in Islamabad first, but not far behind was another airplane from Iran filled with hardliners who wanted to make sure they didn't give away the farm, so to speak.
What's left of the farm.
I mean, that's crazy. You're supposed to trust your negotiators, but clearly in Iran's case, they don't. So this
that tells you that there's division among the IRGC. We're within the very heart of the IRGC as well.
Yeah. So how are they going to handle conflicts? It's going to get the heat, guys. Just want to let you know, the heat's going to get turned up even more. Just a matter of time.
Because of the blockade and probably some more bombing strategy coming up, I hope. Because
more than that.
The people of Iran want us to bomb more, believe it or not.
All right. The thing we have not talked about here, and it's important, okay, is that Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary, has been following what we'll call the financial strategy for strangling Iran. So one of the first moves last week was to start putting restrictions on money changers in, I want to say, Kuwait and UAE, maybe Qatar, who were, handling personal transactions with Iranians. So these guys were put out of business, saying, okay, no more money changing. with folks in Iran, right? Now, just multiply that times 10 or by 100. And then now we're starting to put pressure on all the financial transactions that are going in and out of Iran. So you couple that with cutting off their oil, now the economy is going to get into some real trouble. And then on top of that, the cherry on top, I love it, is that if we continue to blockade the Strait of Hormuz and keep the oil from flowing back to China, I think there's a certain country that's going to find itself in a world of hurt, they say, in about 60 days. That would be China.
It would be China.
Okay, money's being cut off and the oil's being cut off. So their ability to function is going to get harder and harder with each passing day. So I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like, but I think in China's case, sure, expect them to lash out.
Do you think China has a? Do you think China has a? I don't know what's the word for it. An endowment. They must have some money backing them up for a little while, don't you think, or no?
Well,
not being communist.
So here's the thing: a lot of noise has been made about how the Chinese banks have been buying up literally tons and tons of gold. Okay. And as we're talking, let's see if I could. There is a really cool chart. If I can find it here, let's see. See if I can do this while we're talking. The point is that, I mean, especially Russia and China. Russia and China had been seen as the two biggies, you know, in terms of. Let's see, is this? I think that's probably. We could go with this one, or we go with this one here. Let's see. I'm going to go with this one. Okay. Hopefully.
You know, I'm wondering is the guys that were on the plane, the first plane that showed up in Pakistan,
Yeah.
the ones that wanted to make a deal,
Yeah.
when they all went home.
Yep.
What happened to those guys? They kill those guys off?
No. Let's just say that
They're all high end guys.
Yeah, well, let's just say that the battleground has shifted. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me I'm saving this. I think I can do this. You're going to like this.
All right.
Just bear with me here.
Good. My head's too big.
I
heard that.
I did this. Yeah, I did this the hard way.
Comment from the other room over there.
No, hold on. There. Okay. Good.
Well, while you're doing that, we're going to shift gears for a minute. Talk about the Red Sox.
Oh, yeah. What now?
For a minute.
Get into that. You realize the Yankees have lost 7 of the last 8 games.
That's true. They finally broke a 7-game losing streak last night.
Okay. Well,
but the Yankees will be fine. The Red Sox need a new manager.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you say?
I know we need a new manager. I don't think it's not even in my opinion. The statistics don't argue.
Well, how
they have not one of the worst, but the worst defense the last 3 years in a row. They're working on number 4.
Wait, say that again. The worst
defense, the most errors, the worst defense in all of baseball.
What?
3 years in a row.
Red Sox?
Yes. And
no.
And they're leading the league again this year. Look it up.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me,
man. Not wrong. So and by the way, this year so far, you know, they have a computer or cameras doing balls and strikes now, so you can challenge them. It's called ABS.
Well, that's what we can't challenge them.
No, the catcher or the pitcher or the batter can challenge it, and you get 2 a game.
Okay.
If you get it wrong, you're down to 1. If you get it right, then you keep it. You lose it if you lose it. If you're wrong about your challenge, you lose it. Twice, you don't have any more left. Now, the Red Sox are the worst so far statistically. They are the worst team in the league in terms of strategy using the ABS, in terms of using it too early, not using it enough, having pitches that should have been overturned that never were. They're managing it horribly. Third.
I don't know. This is really blowing my mind. I am a Red Sox fan.
The Red Sox don't have a 3-0 take sign.
Can't be this bad.
They don't have a don't swing sign. Cora doesn't bother. He lets the players
What?
do what they want.
Don't swing sign.
Yeah, there's most every team in the league has a 3. If it's 3-0, they'll give you the take sign or the swing sign. He doesn't bother with that. He figures the players can do it. All his policy is lazy. He uses analytics for everything. He looks at statistics to make all his game time decisions. No human factor at all. Just the numbers. Easy just to plug them in and do it. Lazy manager. And all these things are indicative of it. Goes on and on. Their RASP, their batting average with runners in scoring position has been among the worst in the league also for a while now.
Wait, say that again. What's been the worst?
The batting average with runners in scoring position, clutch hitting, RASP, runners in scoring position batting average.
Well, everything you're telling me,
and it's the one among the worst, which is another sign of bad management.
Yeah.
Psychological factor. And they underachieve every year. The talent levels, they underachieve every year. And the only year he won the World Series, he did win the World Series with the Red Sox in 2018. But you remember, they got caught cheating. And he got fired. And they hired him back the next year during the COVID.
Wait, who? Oh, back then.
Yeah. So the only year that Cora actually won anything was the year that they cheated. They had video of the, they had video. They were stealing signs. The players knew what pitches were coming.
Okay.
Anyway, back to Iran.
So get ready to be shocked.
Cora's got to go. We'll leave it at that.
All right.
All
right. This is countries with the largest gold reserves as of March 2025.
Look at us. Look at us.
That's right. Way out in front. Not even close. Okay. All right.
There's
now
rumors out there that the gold at Fort Knox got stolen, though. That's probably not true.
Well,
rumors.
Perhaps. All right. Meantime, you can combine the holdings of Russia and China, and that would still be less than half of what America has.
Right. But China's been buying gold. Do we have more recent statistic than this?
Well, no, there's no way that they would buy such an amount of gold that would even bring them close to where we are.
Right. It might get them past Russia or maybe France, but not much further than that.
Okay. So now, hold that thought. And then the next thing I want to point out here, just another factoid, since we were stumbling into this subject, is here. Oops.
Oh my God, how am I going to do my taxes tomorrow? My goodness.
Well, that's not a good time. Have you ever had to file extensions?
Yeah, I could do that if I had to, but
you don't want to. I understand.
No, I don't want to. The good news is this year I'm probably going to pretty come close to breaking even, I think. So I don't think I'm going to owe a lot.
Breaking even?
Yeah. Which is what you want, really.
Okay.
Which I was going to get to earlier real quick, though. I know I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but the income tax is a psychological mind screw job because people get tax returns and they think that they're benefiting from that when they're not. It just means the government's been holding your money all year interest free.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
let's go.
Their unit here is a little unclear, but I think it's 8 million. It might be 8 million troy ounces. It may be more. Okay, you'd have to do a conversion, but
okay.
Russia produces 300 metric tons of gold annually.
Oh, you mean mines it? You mean?
Yes, there's the second largest producer of gold in the world, and that would
spending it all on military.
Well, yeah, it's not helping.
It's Germany, huh? Second place.
Yeah, so there you go. So
how did Germany get so rich?
Is that a serious question?
Kind of, yeah. Well, we beat them at. They got beat. Their asses beat in 2 world wars.
Okay. The way Germany has gotten rich
is cheap.
Trade. Okay, and manufacturing. Germany, for the longest time, carved out Japan caught up with it, but for the longest time, Germany was the home to high precision manufacturing, high quality, high precision manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another country that some might say is even better than Germany at high precision manufacturing. That would be Switzerland.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you my favorite Switzerland story. My father, when he was working on getting his master's degree at Columbia University when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
came home one night with some photographs. And he told the story of some American metallurgists who, at the time, so this would have been the early 60s, had successfully drawn wire thinner than a human hair.
Mm.
Wire thinner than a human hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable, huh?
And so they were proud of themselves, and they said, "Well, gee, who can we show this off to?" Well, how about those Swiss guys? They make those watches with those tiny little pieces and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, let's send it to them.
Oh.
So they rolled up some of this wire, sent it off for the Swiss, and a few weeks later they get the package back with a note, and they said, "We're very impressed, but you should look at it under the microscope." And when they did, the wires had holes in them.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Even that thin. That's interesting.
Right. So
So,
that's how good the Swiss are when it comes to engineering.
do you know what country is? Well, there's only 3 out of the 15 countries on this chart would actually consider to 12 out of the 15 I consider to be allies. Only
Okay.
3. Obviously, Russia and China were 2. And what do you think the third one would be? Turkey, probably the third one. I thought they were allies of ours, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Right. I don't know.
What country? What's the one country that is noticeably absent from this chart? Take a
Interesting.
guess. Huh?
I want to say Canada.
Well, I hadn't thought of that one, but I think the United Kingdom. The
Okay.
world's greatest empire for 3 centuries. It's not even on the chart.
Good point. Oh my goodness.
Interesting.
All right. Well, hey, I'm sorry, that spawns yet another search.
Mm-hmm. How much money does the UK have? Spend it all on all those wooden ships? I don't think so. The Rothschilds took it all.
Okay.
The Rothschild family in England is like the
All right.
Rockefeller family of England.
So it says 310 metric tons.
Okay,
Wow.
so
Okay, because when you look down here at the bottom, so these are tons. All right.
367.
Tons.
So they'd be 310. So they're off the chart, but not by far.
So Britain is 350.
Oh, 350. So they just missed the chart then.
Correct.
They have some money.
So, so towelheads in Uzbekistan have more gold than Britain. That's not right.
No, right? That's not right at all. Taiwan's not doing too bad for a little small country.
Right. Well, I think these countries share the realization that if the world falls apart, it's going to go to the gold standard. So they want to make sure that they have as much gold as they can compile. So you have, so if you take Russia alone, right, they're adding 300 metric tons every year. So here, let's just do the quick math. If we go with this, that's 8,000. So that's going to be 12,000.
Depends on how bad it goes belly up. If it goes real bad, the gold won't even matter then.
1,000.
It'll just be about harder.
I would say that if you add it all up, we're looking at roughly 14,000 metric tons of gold held in reserve by all the countries in the world. 14,000 metric tons. Okay.
We have more than half.
Yes. So now the issue here is how the why don't we just look this other thing up?
What's interesting to me, though, philosophically speaking, gold is really just another rock in that. We just decided many thousands of years ago to use that as a standard.
Well, it's an interesting
really
choice.
just a decision that was made. It's
Gold
we can easily unmake it.
Gold does not rust.
Well, yeah, it is a precious metal, no doubt about it.
Right.
Yeah, it does have true intrinsic value to it. That is true. So does platinum.
That's true industrial value. But I'm going to tell you okay. So China, as it turns out, is the leading producer at 380 metric tons, and Russia is second at 300. But when you add everybody up, the total global production of gold is about 3,500 metric tons.
And how much do we produce a year?
Oh, America? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We are ranked we're number 5.
So we're behind Russia and China?
Oh yeah. No, they're the big. Yeah, I mean, especially when you think about Russia, they've got huge amount of land.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'll just rattle these off. China 380 tons, Russia 310 tons, Australia 290 tons, Canada 200 tons, and America 160 tons.
We're producing at half the rate, less than half the rate.
Well, as far as that's concerned, but I'd say that we make it so you can imagine. So you've got here, if we take these top 5 producers here,
there's a lot of factors involved, though.
6, 5.
It's kind of hard for me to. I don't want to draw any conclusions about that, really.
Let's see here. What are
too many other factors?
300. So 3,500 metric tons, and
we're producing 1/5 of that between the two of them, almost.
So the total global production is the same as Germany's holdings, it would appear. Or no. I can't read Germany's. Is that 3 or 5?
No, it's 3. It looks like 3 to me.
3. Okay, so 3. So then total.
Yeah, it's placed between the 2 and the 4 on the
it's,
thing too.
Same as that. So then you can imagine that all these countries are buying up gold. There's competition. Plus, you do have quite a few industrial uses for gold as well. So, so it should not be a surprise that you see this amount and that it's growing year in and year out.
Well, maybe we should step up our gold production a little bit.
I'm sure we're trying. I am a fan. I admit I am a fan of Gold Rush.
Oh, the Gold.
Do you watch Gold Rush at all?
Oh, I haven't watched. Why, is there a show about it, about Gold Rush?
What? Wait, do you get Comcast?
No, we use DirecTV.
Oh, DirecTV. Okay.
Yeah, but I do have the channel. I think I've heard of the show. I've never seen it, but I've watched many documentaries about the Gold Rush.
Yeah, no, this is I guess what you call a real life, ongoing account. So there are several people. There's Rick. There's Parker, and then there's Tony. So those 3 guys are significant miners of gold in the Yukon. Tony Beets is legendary. Parker Schnabel is this young up-and-coming kid. And Rick is a friend of Parker's who's been getting more and more into the game as well.
Are you talking about what's going on today up in the Yukon Territory in Alaska?
No, with these 3 guys. So they've been,
Okay, I'm thinking of the traditional 1849.
No, as a series, the show's been around now for must be at least 12 years more. Yeah. And so there have been spinoffs. One of the spinoffs is that in Nome, Alaska, there's a community that goes out and they're constantly mining for gold off of Nome, Alaska. But it's a weird thing. So most of it's in the water. So they go out and dredge from the water, but there's some inland gold too. And so there are a lot of personal stories to be told with people who go out there and do what they can to make a living at it. So that's Bering Sea Gold, Gold Rush, and then the other one is Gold Mine Rescue.
Oh wow!
And so this is 2 guys. They're great people, Freddie and Juan. They've been in other shows before, but they teamed up to make this spin-off show. And what they do,
they restore mines.
And
then look for gold in them.
They save people's lives, their livelihoods. They're, on the verge of bankruptcy. Every one of these that they go to, they manage to figure out how to get them to, be able to recover more gold.
Wow.
I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Every time it's on, I'm watching. They are just, it's.
So the other show you're talking about where they're out there trying to make a living doing it, some probably do better, a lot better than others, I imagine, huh?
Well, that according to their needs, some of them, if they're able to pull out, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of gold a week, they can make a living on that.
I would hope so. 4,000 a week?
Yeah, well, it's expensive. You got fuel.
You're talking about business expenses too. Okay, I know what you mean now.
Yeah, so
I'm thinking like Little House on the Prairie, Charles, and bringing the family out trying to, paying enough to get by. But you're talking about business enterprise, so yeah, you need a lot of it to feed that.
So those people, I mean, to whatever extent, they're feeding into this system here.
So I wonder if there's any families that go up there to try to just.
Oh, yeah. Their families, whole family. They're, many a story of a young man and their young children, and they're trying to make a go of it, and it is dramatic. You have multi-generational families trying to make it work, and they're living on the edge. So these guys are heroes to them for the things that they've done to help them stay in business. Yeah, and it's such a funny thing because in most cases they're on pretty good ground, but they just don't know how to work it. Their operation is inefficient. It's sort of a silly thing when you think of it. All you're talking about is making it more efficient, and now you can earn a living.
Yeah, a lot of people have trouble making things efficient, though.
Yeah, case in point, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's a restaurant I worked at in Vernon back in the late 90s, a place called Damon's Ribs. And there's none of them around here anymore. There might still be a few down in Virginia. It was a chain place, and just to make a long story short, the place was always hopping. They had like a kids trivia night, a lot of activities, and the food was decent. And they just had good crowds, and they had a bar that was always going. Tons of money coming in the door, but the management was terrible.
All right, and they went.
The efficiencies were gone. The manager had a cocaine problem, I believe.
Okay, so they went out of business.
And they went out of business. They lasted about 2 years. Yeah, and the owners of the place made the mistake. And if you ever start your own business, don't make the mistake of hiring everybody to run your business for you. You got to run your own business. Now you need help.
Family members.
It was a old couple that owned the place. They turned it over to the management. I worked there for over a year. I only saw that couple show up at that restaurant once or twice the entire time.
All right.
That's not good. They got hosed, man.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, so I'm just trying to think if there's something else here to add to the gold picture. Well, just one other point, if we were going to take the time to do this, is per capita, okay? And that is to say, you see these amounts of gold that they are holding on to, but how does it work if you break it down on a per capita basis? And any guesses as to which of these would be number one on a per capita basis?
Amount of gold per capita. Okay, let me hold on now here.
It's kind of self-evident.
I think it's Germany.
No.
Wait, hold on. Give me another guess. Let's do another guess.
All right. Well, let's run through it a little bit.
I didn't put far enough down the list here. Hold on a minute.
Population.
USA is it could be the United States, but I'm not going to throw that out there yet. It's got to be a place with a smaller population.
Correct. So which of those has a small population?
Well, not India. Leave that right out. Uzbekistan. Well, no. Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Well, no, those are all populated areas. Jeez, hold on. You're killing me here with this one. Was a small population? Switzerland, maybe?
Yes, Switzerland.
That's the one.
Okay. Uzbekistan, I don't know about, but Taiwan is well over 20 million. But the population of Switzerland is 6 million.
Wow, I didn't know there were that few people.
7 in that range. And so you can see relative to where they are with a population size like that per capita, they have more gold than anybody else. Wow. That would be a different chart. And that would say something about, each country's commitment to maybe not being on the gold standard, but certainly taking gold seriously as a part of their financial system.
I would venture to guess that the United States might be number 2 on that per capita list, though.
Well,
We have a lot of,
let's think about that.
we have a lot of people, but we're so much
and
more
eight-
dominant than everybody else.
All right, I'm going to do a quickie.
Or I could
Quickie
stick with
calculation.
Germany. Yeah, maybe you can do a per capita chart.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm not that fast.
What? You don't have the magic over there? Germany might be number 2
Okay, so
because they have a huge number. They're what do they got? 38 million in Germany. Germany could be number 2.
okay, so it's I'm not sure what the units are, but the number is going to be 23.6 for America.
Oh, you're doing the math.
Yeah, and Switzerland, where'd you go? Switzerland is 1. Okay, so that's 1,000 divided by 6, 166. Yeah,
They're way ahead.
so in rough numbers, okay.
We're not second then.
So I'm just going to say units. So America has 26 units of gold per capita, all right,
Yeah.
whereas Switzerland has 166. Now, okay, if you take China, so let's do China just because we'd like to do China.
China's worse because they have a huge population.
All right, so theirs is 20, we'll say 2,300.
Because we think they have a huge population. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with this number.
Go with their official number. It was like 1 billion.
Oh my God, this 2.3. Forget it.
2.3 per person. Well, do Germany. Do one more. Do Germany.
Okay, so all right, so then Germany again. I'm trying to read this. You said it was 8 or 5. I can't quite tell.
Germany's 8. Wait, Germany's 5.
5. All right.
Oh, wait,
so
I'm sorry. No. Oh, wait, no. Germany's 33. You're looking at this chart, or you're looking at the population?
looking at their amount. Okay, 68 units per capita.
Okay.
Okay, so they have less than Switzerland, but more than America
Yeah.
in terms of per capita.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So again, just for another piece of background information here, is that somebody looked at what we'll call the debt history of the European countries. In other words, which of these European countries over the last 200 years, when were they in debt and for how long?
Okay.
So just to help you out, I don't know if you follow what goes on in Greece, but Greece has certainly gotten into financial trouble over the last 20 years, more than a couple of times. And when you looked at their 200-year financial history, it's happened quite a few times. When Greece got into financial trouble. They had, huge debt. They had to borrow all kinds of money. Eventually, they kind of stabilized, but then they got into trouble all over again. But there are a couple of countries that really never got into any financial trouble whatsoever. I mean, there is an exception, but if you just put that exception in context, there are a couple of countries in Europe that never got into financial trouble. Germany and Switzerland. Germany and Switzerland.
Germany and Switzerland. Okay.
Yeah, well, Britain probably did okay for themselves too, but just another side trip here. Do you know how the French Revolution came about?
Well, I read A Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, well, there's a little bit more to the story. That Tale of Two Cities ain't shabby, but there's a little bit more.
Yeah, I've studied it, but it's been a long time. I know how it really is a revolution based on. I know that the American Revolution inspired it on some level.
Yes.
And I know also that economic circumstances were a huge factor behind. There was a large discrepancy between rich and poor in France at that time, and it wasn't because of capitalism. It was because of outright left-wing monarchy, out of control.
Well,
bourgeoisie.
Let's see. I have a slightly. Jeez, I gotta keep up with Alan here. This is funny. It says so his last comment here a few minutes ago was, is that counting all the gold hidden in the secret train tunnels. Well, obviously, it couldn't possibly include those, but how much gold could there be in secret train tunnels?
Does
Yeah.
it include this gold bar that I have right here? No, I wish I had one.
Yeah. Well, so he says so many of these reality shows are later revealed as fake. I wonder what will come out about these gold rush shows. I don't think that there are some issues here about setups.
Fool's gold.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if one of them declares bankruptcy, yeah, it's true. It says, the other comment that Alan makes here is amazing to watch these folks work so hard for relatively small amounts of gold and still make a lot of money. Well, I think that reflects the fact that gold has gone up in price over the last couple of years. So, more wealth with the same amount of effort. So I would not be surprised at all at that any of this has been a scam. It's kind of hard to run a scam that long. Now, okay, the Alaskan Bush family, that show, yes, I think some people said that there was a level, which that may have been a scam. But no, I think the way they lived and what they went through was pretty real. As far as
have you ever seen the show Alone?
Yes, I remember.
That's a cool show.
Yes, that was.
And leave you in the wilderness basically for as long as you can take it.
And it was, and you would be sitting there watching from week to week going, who's next? Who's going to crap out?
Mm-hmm.
And, what I thought was very interesting, there was one show, there was this one woman who just seemed to be in such good spirits. She lasted pretty long, but she did not make it to the end. No. So, as much as she was doing herself to keep her morale up, there was a limit. And
that's the cool thing about the show. There really was no end. It was just the last man standing or woman standing.
Right. Oh yeah, but no, I thought, I don't know why they don't do it anymore, but I thought that was.
I wish they would. That was a cool show. That was really got right down to the basics. I mean, there was no help either. There was no help with these people unless you tapped out.
Oh, all right. Here you go. Yeah, Alan's helping out a lot here. Yeah, right. Okay, that Bush Papal family thing was all fake. They stayed in hotels, hired actors, and lived in a house. And it was till it was time to promote the father's book. Yeah, I think we could say that there was some. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Alan. Yeah. So this
it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust anything these days with these Hollywood people for sure.
The other thing is with the gold rush shows, there was this one where this guy Hoffman took a bunch of people down to, I forget, French Guiana. And it was on the basis of the sketchiest information for finding gold. Now, what's weird is they found diamonds when they're down there. They made a few bucks off of that. But they went through hell and got nothing. It was a complete waste. And so after that, it was back to the Yukon where they knew they could find some gold. Right. So anyway, so out of all of that, all right. Okay, I'm going to try and be honest. No help unless you count the film Cruise. Yes, yeah, is true.
Now and then you bribe a crew member to hand you a sandwich or something.
All right, in a case like that, but you had, what was it? A number of times. I mean, I'll go back to, there was, isn't
it true on Alone, though, you didn't have a film crew?
What?
They gave them their own handheld camera. There was no film crew with those people.
Okay, but I think the point is that there were times when the cast, if you will, had to get into the faces of the cameraman and tell, get out, leave us alone. This is no time to be filming us. Something bad has happened here to one of our people. You've got to leave us alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not so sure that was that. That seemed pretty real at the time. So in some cases, yes. Some cases, no. I think that's the best answer I can give.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah, and this is this too. They were, but to pick up on what Alan is saying, it's not out of the realm of possibility, okay, that the, how should I say this? These gold grounds are, quote, spiked. In other words, that's not the real gold in the ground that they're recovering.
What, they're putting gold there for the sake of the show?
Right.
So like stocking the pond before opening day on fishing day?
Same idea. Right.
Mm.
So that is
That's
possible.
awful generous.
Yes. That's true. I mean, when you think about, I mean, one of the early shows of Parker Schnabel.
What would
He-
be the motive in doing that? To make more
What?
excitement on for the TV show?
Oh, sure. Well, you know, the other thing, I mean, one of the things you notice, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, at least with Parker, every year he goes a little bit bigger. Okay. He's mining more gold. He's getting more gold. He's taking bigger chances. And I don't think there's any time where we see him fail.
Kind of
So
like
I-
when I watch an when I watch an NFL football game in recent years,
You know,
and I see that most or all of the primetime games are never blowouts. And I see that if you're down 10 or 14 points in the fourth quarter in a primetime game, chances are these days that you're going to come back to either make the game very interesting at the end or take the lead even in more games than not, which defies all mathematical logic.
well, not so fast.
Which tells me now which makes me accuse NFL executives and TV executives of choreographing the ends of games to create more excitement for the fans, so you don't have to watch a 40-0 game during a primetime game.
Well, we still have those 40-0 games. They come along.
They do, but okay, let me rephrase that. If its game gets away, it's 30-0 at halftime. There's nothing they can do about that.
Yeah.
But if they see a game that's reasonably competitive, get away from them late in the third quarter, they're going to do what they can to steer it back into a close game for the end of the game, to create the drama at the end of the game. They may still let the team that wants to win, but they're messing around with the competition at the end of the game. And I don't think my being the mathematical person I am, I don't think my assessment can be argued with. Mathematically, I don't think it's deniable. There's just too many comeback wins, too many crazy things that happen at the end of these games. You know, you go into the fourth quarter up 21-7, right? That's not going to be a blowout. They never go away in that game. It ends up 21-14, 21-7. Oh, it's going to be almost every time, not every single time. It doesn't happen in regular 1 o'clock Sunday games so much. I'm talking about primetime games, important games.
Right. Okay. Well, you're making a claim about games that have since been played and are in the history books.
That's correct. I
So
can't make
it would
anything
be
but
possible to go back and collect and do the sampling. And so you would be saying games that were played at these times.
yeah, I would have to take a sample of every game where the fourth quarter began with a team up by between a certain number of points, between 7 and 21 points, say.
That's a
That
big
range. And then see what percentage of those games ended up being a less than one possession game with a 2-minute warning. And I bet you if I were to do that,
well, wait.
I would say 50% or more of them do now. 60% or more of them do now. Which if I were to go back to 1960s or 50s or 70s or even 80s and do it, that number would be more like 30 or 20%.
That could be statistically significant. Yes.
That's the study I'd have to do. But frankly, I don't have the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We just
Once CS Sports is up and running, though, I could assign that to our sports editor.
Sports editor. What's
our sports guy, wherever he is down the road, or she.
You're not talking about Selena.
Oh no, Selena's not a sports person.
Okay.
Selena's going to do a couple shows on the network for sure, but not that one.
Mm-hmm.
Not a sports person. She doesn't even know what a football looks like. No. I made that up. She's not that bad.
Okay.
Oh, it's raining like a doggins out there. Holy moly. Okay, with that, I think we're ready to wrap it up. I got to get going on my taxes and do a little bit tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah.
We're at the hour mark anyway. Are we, sir?
Yeah, pretty much. Just one other thought. Oh, I just want to throw in this other cool gold story.
Oh, cool.
True story. It's Germany. It's 1938.
Yikes.
And the Nazis are hunting for Jews. All right.
Okay.
And among the Jews they wanted to get were Jewish academics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it turns out this particular Jewish academic that they were chasing had won a Nobel Prize. And so, of course, he was concerned that they would steal his Nobel Prize since it was made of gold.
Sure. They would have.
So he made a little trip to his buddies in the chemistry lab. And they said, "Can you help me hide this?" And they said, "No problem." So what did they do?
They made a replica.
Nope.
Oh, no? That's what I'd have done.
Nope. There's a very strong acid called aqua regia, and it can dissolve gold. So they took the Nobel Prize gold and they put it into a solution of aqua regia, and that dissolved. So there was the Nobel Prize dissolved in a jar of aqua regia acid. And so then they labeled it, and it was left there. Nazis came looking, couldn't find it. And after the war, the chemists reconstituted and recast the gold as the Nobel Prize.
Wow. So when you say dissolved it, that made me feel like they destroyed it.
No,
or just or broke it down somehow.
No, it's
not just, they didn't just melt. Why not just melt it down?
No, it was chemically dissolved.
Okay.
And so then, in a sense, you run the reaction in reverse. So instead of being acid, it's basic. You make the gold precipitate out.
Wow.
And now you have the raw metal. You probably have to refine it a little bit, but then you can recast it again as a Nobel Prize.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so that is one of my favorite gold stories.
I like that story.
Right.
Okay, so tomorrow night?
Yep.
All right, then.
All
Thank
right.
you for watching, everybody, here on Facebook Live for Common Sense News and Entertainment.
Right.
Jason Douglas saying good night.
Right.
See you tomorrow.